All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on a hidden system inside your own body, the endocannabinoid system. It's the pretty surprising reason why cannabis has the effects it does. So, you've probably asked yourself this question: why does this one plant have such a huge and honestly, such a varied impact on us? Well, the answer, as it turns out, isn't really about the plant at all. You might hear people joke that some of us are just wired for weed, but here's the crazy thing: that's surprisingly close to the biological truth. Because to really understand the effects of cannabis, you don't actually start by looking at the plant. You have to look inside yourself. The whole secret to how cannabis works isn't just in the plant's chemistry, but in the biological hardware we were all born with. So let's dive into this incredible and, often overlooked system that's running inside of you right this very second. It's called the endocannabinoid system, or the ECS for short. And you can think of it as a master regulator, this huge communication network that's constantly working behind the scenes to keep your body's most important functions in check. Now, before we even start talking about the cannabis plant, it's absolutely crucial to understand what this system does all on its own every single day. And here's where it gets really fascinating. Our bodies are constantly producing their own version of these compounds, and they're called endocannabinoids. That endo part, it just means from within. Yep, you're making them right now. So why does it do this? Well, it's all to achieve one thing: homeostasis. And that's really just the fancy scientific term for keeping a stable, balanced internal environment. When you're too hot, you sweat. When you're too cold, you shiver. That is homeostasis in action, and the ECS is a huge player in that whole process. And this internal balancing act is so, so important. A properly functioning ECS helps manage your mood, your appetite, how you perceive pain, and even just your ability to relax. It's the system that's always working to bring you back to a nice, stable baseline. Okay, so if our body has this entire system running already, what in the world happens when cannabinoids from an outside source, like, the cannabis plant, show up to the party? Well, compounds from the plant, which are called phytocannabinoids — phyto just means plant — can directly communicate with your body's endocannabinoid system. And the most famous of these are, of course, THC and CBD. The easiest way to picture this whole complex interaction is with a really simple analogy: a lock and a key. So think of it like this. Your body's ECS has receptors scattered everywhere, in your brain, your organs, everywhere. These are the locks. The cannabinoids, whether they're made by your body or from a plant, are the keys that are perfectly shaped to fit them. So when a key, like THC or CBD, fits into one of these receptor locks, it turns. And that turn triggers a response. It sends a signal that tells the cell what to do next. And this whole unlocking process, that is what leads to all the effects we associate with cannabis, from the therapeutic stuff to the psychoactive side. By fitting into those locks, the plant cannabinoids can temporarily influence that balancing act of homeostasis. This can result in the high you get from THC, but it also explains the huge therapeutic potential that researchers are so excited about exploring. And that right there, that's the big aha moment. It's because this system is so widespread and regulates so many different things that just one plant can have an influence on everything from pain sensation to your ability to relax. It's all about which locks are being turned. So, to put it all together, you have endocannabinoids made by your body for balance, and you have phytocannabinoids from the cannabis plant that interact with that same exact system. It's like two different sources speaking one shared biological language. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final question to chew on. The fact that our bodies evolved with this incredibly intricate system that is just perfectly designed to interact with these specific molecules, that's remarkable. It opens up this whole new world of questions about our own biology and its relationship with the world around us. What else is this system capable of? Well, that's something science is still working hard to unlock.